Okay, we're at episode 8 and we're going to Monza. Okay, we've got some worn engine parts. The ICE is over 60% worn. So I'm switching to the third one. Then let's also switch to our third MGU-H. I'm also switching to the second energy store. And we really need a new gearbox. With 75% worn. And we ran into some gearbox trouble at Zandvoort. Okay, we finally completed a new upgrade. It took a while with the reduced R&D rate, but we've got some weight reduction here. So now we have the 6th chassis on the grid. Not that great, so let's start a new one right away. In terms of aero, we're also the 6th on the grid. Aston Martin's doing really well in terms of aero. Okay, but we still have the fastest engine on the grid. That could prove very helpful at Monza. Okay, no rain expected at Monza. Let's see the progress history. Oh, we've only got a small boost in performance, but Ferrari's closing in on us. It's probably going to be a very tight battle here at Monza. Let's see. Let's go to one-shot quali.
We're back in Italy once again for another round of the Formula One World Championship. And what a great race is in store for us today, here at the oldest circuit on the calendar, which hosted its first race all the way back in 1922. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Hamilton, Verstappen, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Cookie, Leclerc, Maldonado, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Bottas, Albon, Joe, Stroll, Hülkenberg, De Vries and Logan Sargent. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat is Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching out for as they head into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway and the track temperature looks warm. That may or may not play into some of the team's hands in today's race. quick back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out. Let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books. Mind that front wing is going to need replacing if it takes too much damage. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. You're in 8th place. Piastri's ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.7 seconds. They're on fresh softs. That's Sainz behind you now. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. Okay, so gap to the leader is 4.0 seconds. Okay, DRS will be enabled at this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 3.6 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're in 13th place. Time last lap was a 1:22.5. Gap to your teammate behind is 3.6 seconds.
Sat in P8, well done. Piastri ahead. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. Gasly behind. Our gap behind is 3.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Our gap to first place is 2.4 seconds. The pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. Fastest lap is at 1 minute 21.6. We don't currently have the data for that request. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Red Bull drivers just completed a pass for the lead. Tyre condition still looking good. That's Russell just ahead, push for the position. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 1.6 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Their last lap time was a 1:23.9. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 2.0 seconds. We're in P4. Perez ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Norris is behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, gap to leader, 2.2 seconds. Okay, your pit window opens next lap. 13 laps to go. Okay, we're boxing this lap, give us the best in lap you can. Okay, safety car deployed, safety car's been deployed. Watch your delta, make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack. Okay, some information on Piastri. They're retiring from the race. Okay, that's Pastor in the pits. Pastor's in the pits. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap. Pace is strong, but be aware these tyres need to go the distance. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Fantastic, 2 cars at once, really well done. Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on. Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online. Okay, you've got P3. P3, well done. It's Perez ahead of you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Alonso behind you now. Okay, push, push. Gap to the car behind. 2.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 7 laps to go. Fastest lap at this point in time is a 1 minute 21.6. We don't have the data for that, I'm afraid. Great manoeuvre, it made it look so easy. Perez ahead. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 2.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. And the time last lap was a 1:21.5. Okay, so they're extending their advantage by 2 seconds a lap at the moment. Come on, you can win that place back. Just 5 laps of fuel remaining. It's Perez ahead of you, and gap to the car in front is 1.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old. Time last lap was a 1 minute 21.8. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 per lap. Russell's ahead of you now. They're on old mediums. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, car behind trailing us, 6.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. The distance to the leader is 2.1 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. Okay, good job, mate. Really, really well done. That was a fantastic drive. Bring it home.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Well, it wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Well, there was a lot of incredible driving out there today, but if I had to pick someone, it's got to be Sergio Perez. Fantastic driving.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull.
Okay, now that was a chaotic race at Monza, but in the end we got a good result, so I'm happy. Okay, DRS upgrade completed, and we also improved our gearbox reliability. Let's see, one of our engine parts, the turbocharger, is over 50% worn, so I'm switching to the third turbo. Okay, so right before Singapore, we are now the third team on the grid in terms of aero. We are the 9th team in terms of chassis, so we really need that next upgrade. And our engine is still the best one on the grid, so we should still be competitive on circuits with long straights. But maybe in Singapore we could struggle a bit. Let's see. Okay, so we're in Singapore and I'm not seeing any rain in the forecast. Should be all dry. Now let's check the car performance. We dropped down to 5th on the grid. So Ferrari's overtaken us in terms of car performance. Hopefully we'll still be fast enough to score some decent points here in Singapore. Let's see. Let's go to one-shot quali.
Marina Bay hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. It's a 3.1 mile lap here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit with 47% taken at full throttle. It's hot, humid and bumpy around the 13 lefts and 10 rights of mostly slow corners. But we should see speeds of up to 200 miles per hour along the Raffles Boulevard. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Perez, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Norris, Ocon, Bottas, Cookie, Albon, Oscar Piastri, Joe, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Maldonado, Tsunoda, Stroll, De Vries and Logan Sargent. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. The question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong.
Okay, you're in the top 10. P9, you're running P9, keep going. Lando ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. That's Albon behind you. Less than a second separates you. They're on fresh softs. Okay, so gap to the leader is 6.6 seconds. Your pit window will be open in 7 laps time. You've got 20 laps left until the end. DRS is being enabled this lap. You can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 5.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're currently 16th. Your last lap time was a 1:43.3. Just ahead, push for the position. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. But the time last lap was a 1:42.2. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap. Behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Well done. So ahead. Okay, gap ahead is 2.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:42.3. Okay, you're dropping back by around 2/10 each lap. Our gap to the car in front is 2.4 seconds. place, you're in 8th place. Alonso's ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 2.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Norris behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Our gap to first place is 9.1 seconds. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. Alright, 16 laps to go. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Gap to your teammate behind is 10.0 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. They're currently 16th. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 45.2. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. go, go, go. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. P17, Alonso ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 2.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Ocon behind. Okay, gap to the car behind. 5.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Look after these tyres now and want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 12 laps to go. Coming in for his stop now. Okay, Magnussen ahead. And the time last lap was a 1:50.6. We're leading the car behind by 4.7 seconds. Alonso's ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are just 1 lap old. Time last lap was a 2 minutes 06.9. Behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done. Okay, you're in ninth position. Alonso ahead, less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. Norris is behind you. Okay, gap to leader, 8.3 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 9 laps to go. Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 4.4 seconds. That's P5, you're in P5. Okay, Russell's ahead. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 4.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Leclerc is behind you. They're on fresh mediums. The distance to the leader is 12.6 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. And that's 8 laps to go. That's Russell just ahead, push for the position. And gap to the car in front is 5.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Your last lap time was 1 minute 41.2. You're losing around 1.6 seconds. Okay, gap ahead is 5.8 seconds. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 20.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 18th. And the time last lap was 1:42.4. fastest lap is at 1 minute 40.7. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now. Leclerc behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 6 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:42.1. Okay, last lap time was a 1 minute 42.1. Our gap to the car in front is 7.5 seconds. Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining, 5 laps of fuel left. Russell's ahead of me now. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 7.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:41.9. Okay, you're dropping back by around 4 tenths a lap. Give it everything you got. Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 7.8 seconds. Leclerc is behind you, and the gap behind us is 2.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 43.3. No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps. Okay, you've got P5, P5. Okay, Russell's ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 8.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Leclerc behind. Okay, the gap behind is 2.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, so gap to the leader is 15.0 seconds. Look after these tyres now and you want to finish the race on this compound. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 8.1 seconds. Okay mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. Gap to your teammate behind is 26.9 seconds. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 26.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're currently 17th place. Time last lap was a 1:44.2. All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, you can't fault anything that Sergio Perez did out on track today. He drove flawlessly, making him an easy pick.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. And pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red Bull. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.